Hello, hello. Hey, hi everyone. Hi America. How you doing today? My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an American tear. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, I am. Um, Today is February 1st, 2023. Heart, I heart you. I heart you. Love is in the air. Another 13 days to go if you're in a relationship to do something with your significant other or just do something for them. Maybe just buy a simple card. And if you guys are communicating really well, maybe you both can just talk about it right now, today, and say, hey, let's just hang out with let's just do something with each other. We don't have to get each other special gifts or cards or anything like that. We'll just go out and get a simple dinner. Uh, or you might have higher expectations and you want that special gift and that special card. And make sure that your significant other knows that you communicate on what to do. It could be two different things going on, and neither one of them are bad or good. It's just two different things, So, and the best way to resolve it is just to simply be honest and communicate. That's all. Um, so then for my past experience, um, yeah, it's best to communicate instead of just thinking about it and assuming your significant other is thinking the same way, but they're really not. So you really got to open the channel of communication when it comes to love and being with someone new or someone that you're already married to or whatever. In fact, if you've been married to someone for quite a while, you probably it's going to be easy to communicate because you both are probably already be coming from the same space anyways. So, embrace love. Do 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 do. Fall in love. Do 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 do. Love yourself. Love. Love yourself if you can. That's the best thing about love is we can respect ourselves, love ourselves, and move forward. Do not let people disrespect your love for yourself, man. Do not let that happen. Sidestep it, ignore it, move on. I mean, you really don't want to hang out with people like that, even though you may have very few friends. If they're going to be anti-love with you, then that's not a good friend. That's just saying that maybe they're not in love. Maybe they don't believe in love. And they want to keep you in a place where you're with them. And maybe you don't want to be there. Maybe you want to fall in love and experience a different reality in your life. So, as American cheer, I say, follow love. Don't have doubts. Don't let people make you fear love. You don't have to make fun of it or anything like that. And someday, you will experience love. Who doesn't want to experience love? I mean, I know some people may say, no, I don't ever want to do that. and okay, I'll agree with them at the moment. But when love hits them 6 months later, then they're going to really believe in love. So, in fact, that's American Tears And what we do, there's a lot of it that has to do with the foundation. There's a lot of, the only way to really lay it out and to glue it down is with some love. You know, you have to have that foundation. Love for yourself, love for others, love for your children, love for your spouse, love for God, you know, Jesus, you know, love for the higher power, the universe, nature. You know, there's a lot to love. And I mean, when I step outside every day, I take that opportunity when I go somewhere, before I actually enter the premise or the building or wherever I'm going. I have this weird habit that I just will stop about 10, 20 feet away from the door, turn around, look up at the sky, you know, and just be in awe. Just look up and allow myself that 30 seconds, that 1 minute of awe. Wow. I mean, the blue sky, the clouds, the sun, you know, and we're just a fragile bubble floating and spinning, you know, around this orbit, you know, and I don't think we really know how lucky we are to be here, to have an atmosphere, you know, when a lot of planets around us do not have one. It says a lot, you know, but it also says a lot about how fragile we can be. You know, that's, you know, it's a matter of time before something takes out this beautiful planet that's just, you know, floating around. Anyways, I don't want to get too caught up in that part. But it just, what I'm trying to say is, I acknowledge the day. Man, I look up and I'm like, man, I am thankful. I am grateful. I am happy to be here right now. And thank the universe. Like, thank you for this, like, crazy, magnificent day. Just the way it is, you know, and Mother Nature and how it all just connects and works, you know, it is just fantastic. If you really think about it, you know, and stop and think about it. Most of the time people don't even stop and think about it. We just go through our day like life on this planet, like it's just forever going to be forever. But we are, you know, you gotta understand is, you know, that love is not just the foundation for the American cheer movement. That it's, I mean, it's not all the foundation, but it's mixed in with the cement. It's the glue. In my experience with just loving the planet or just loving the world or just loving, you know, to be alive, it's just something I do to acknowledge it. You know, it is, it's just absolute love. There's no doubt about it. And I feel very, very thankful that I'm here now. You know, and to share and talk about love. You know, so that's what it's about. I mean, really, American Jews, every action takes a little bit of love. I'm not going to say it's all like all about love, 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 love. You know, it takes a little bit of compassion. It takes a little bit of caring. It takes a second to stop and talk with somebody, you know. And that's what happened today with me, you know, when I stop and to pause and turn around. Is that I didn't notice this guy. He was pushing his own wheelchair, and I was about to go into place, but I was stopped and turned around. And then he said, "Hey, you going to go in there?" And I said, yeah. And he said, wow, man, the massage chairs rock. And so, and he looked like looked like a homeless guy to me. I mean, that's basically what he looked like, or he was living in a, low, costs of just surviving off the system with what little he can get. So I don't want to judge, what his story is, but he looked pretty down and out. But we had a good conversation. We're talking about the place, we're talking about, and I never tried the massage chairs or anything like that. And he was telling me, oh, you gotta try it, and how it's just gonna, crack every bone in my back and make me feel just awesome. And he kind of sold me on it. I didn't do it today, but it makes me wonder now, because I walk by them and I see them, and I think like, well, someday I'm going to jump in one of those chairs, and I never do. That someday, I think I have to plan on the day, when I'm there, and say, today is going to be the day that I'm going to spend 15 minutes, jumping on these massage chairs, like this guy's suggested, and you never know. It may crack everybody. It may make me feel just magnificent and fantastic. I don't know. And sometimes when you run across complete strangers and they say something, they mention something to you, there's probably a reason why sometimes. The universe speaks in different ways. Sometimes it's an intuition, sometimes it's a gut feeling, sometimes it's in your heart, sometimes it just blows up in your mind. It's just like, oh my God, wow, and sometimes it's just as simple as a different individual mentioning something to you. And this is what my situation is, so, and you got to have that belief in you somewhere, and the more you grow as an American cheer, that belief will grow too. You'll learn to trust it a little bit more, just a little bit more, and trust, is the big deal. We got to learn how to trust each other. So even if it's just little bits at a time, because that's a whole other thing outside of love, is building trust. It's like building love. You build love and break trust, then, the love starts to go downhill. Because because the trust, maybe before love or right around love or right at love, and there's probably a lot of things connected to it. So trust your gut, be open when someone does talk, a complete stranger, don't, I know a lot of people say, don't talk to strangers, whatever you do, just walk to do what you need to do and ignore the people. And I'd like to say that if it was in a dangerous area, if I felt like you were in danger. But for the most part, I don't really feel like a lot of people are in danger or heading in danger. At least I don't know a lot of people anyway. So, and I would definitely say that to, like, young adults or younger women and people that could be taken advantage of to be a victim of sorts of a crime. But but that's just building distrust. It's like stepping out of your car and looking around and having a right out of the gate a full-on distrust of everyone. That's not healthy either. You got to find that balance. And, American Cheers we got to find that balance as Americans. Because we can't grow as a community if we're running around with, being like anti-love and distrusting. We're just, that community is just not going to happen. It's just going to be, there's no connection. So and so it's very continuous. We got to, set that example for the connection. Like when I'm talking to you right now about, it's something that just happened randomly this afternoon, and that's propelling. That's moving forward with just a little bit of trust, because you don't know where information or what people are going to say to you that's a stranger, but it's meant for you to be heard, to hear it. It's meant for the universe is speaking its own way, in its own way to you. And you got to open yourself and be open-minded, which means you kind of have to do a little bit of trusting, to make that happen. And that's kind of like the steps toward becoming even just a better person and a happier person. I'm sure it's very, how happy can you be if you're always going to be distrusting everything you see or do, or every time you step out your front door, you just, have this autopilot of distrust? You can be miserable. I can understand, that you're kind of have this frown on your face and you're looking down and, you don't want to, you have so much distrust that you just can't even, make eye contact or smile or do anything, besides be completely 100% self-absorbed, and that's not healthy. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what people say about, like, don't extend yourself to others. I say extend yourself to others. Experience life, experience love, experience compassion, let the universe and the world speak to you. Allow that to happen. And then we can, still grow as happy Americans, and so I don't know if I'm getting too deep or too philosophical about this with you guys, but I know you understand what I'm talking about, because we're adults, so I can't say, just be completely trusting, and because you may walk into something may harm you, so you got to be cautious and be aware of things around you at all times. When I was a kid, and we lived in San Jose, like California, for a while. I think it was with a cousin or something like that. Somebody's, they had a big house, and we kind of stayed with them. And they lived really, really close to downtown. In fact, they lived downtown of San Jose. So it was just me walking like a block and a half or so before I was in the middle, in downtown area with all the buildings and all that craziness, of downtown lifestyle. And there was a theater about 5 blocks down the road that charged, like, during that summer days right there, it like $1. It was like in the middle, like, for some, matinee foreign movie. A lot of them were just like kung fu movies, and they were kind of like older movies too, or older kung fu movies. And if I had $1, I'd go there and you could watch like a double feature. And that'd be like the whole summer day afternoon in there. And, but I was telling my cousin, like, she was telling me where to go and how to find it. And she gave me the biggest tip ever, and I give this tip to people too when they're out and about, even as kids, to be aware, but don't make contact. So she said, and I did it too. So when I'm walking down downtown, and I see groups of people, to just only make eye contact with them once, and that's it, one time. After that, do not make eye contact with them twice. Just that one time, and if you do it twice, they may say something. They may start to kind of reel you in. So to make eye contact once, it's just so they know that you know that they're there, and they know you're there too, and you're just moving along. So, and I would do that. I would just move along and look around me, look at the people, and make eye contact with people that were looking at me too, and then that's it. I wouldn't look at them again. I just would keep moving. And I guess there's something psychological about that. I think when people are up to mischief or doing something bad, and they're making eye contact with what they think might be the next victim, the eye contact just kind of kills the mood right there. They just, they probably felt like they've already been identified, and so they don't want to approach. They're probably looking for more like someone who's not looking and is looking down or doing something else while they're walking, and they're probably more easier of a victim or a prey. So I would do that. And if you're living in a crazy downtown area, or you're worried about your children having to walk past other people, like adults, like sitting at a bus stop or something like that, it's always full, after school or something like that, then you want to, once they understand what you're talking about, let them know, like, give them a good tip. Say, if you're walking by yourself, just move along, and people are around you, just, if you don't have to make eye contact at all, I mean, you just don't, just move along. But if you do, if you're looking, you should just make eye contact with them once, and that's it. Don't do it twice. Just make, that quick glance where, you guys see each other and move along. And that will kind of prevent anything bad from happening in its own way, in its own psychological, mental sense of way. So that's my tip of the day. Heck yeah. Who would have known? Who would have known I didn't know what I was, I was going to talk about that one. But I am. And that's it works. And so, back to love. Love. It's February. Fall in love, man. Do it. Take that chance. Whether you're a girl or a woman or a man, doesn't matter. Take the chance. If you're a woman, just go for it. If you're a man, just step up. Rejection will be fine. You'll survive. Trust me. Anyways, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it. Peace, love. Have, a heart-filled day. We'll talk later, okay?